you ready for this? Oh my goodness! It is season 3, episode 21! Pretty good. Yeah, 21! Now, this is a fun one for me. So, everybody's like, Paul, I don't know where you come up with these. How do you keep coming up with drink after drink after drink? Well, I'm an alcoholic, so it's pretty easy. No, I've got a book. We do have a book. But no, seriously, there's always something to celebrate. There's always something, and honestly, we're only going once a week. It's easy to find something to celebrate once a week. But this week, this Sunday, today, 9 years ago, I met the woman holding that camera. And I'm sharing that story tonight. And we're going to do it right here. Blue Monkey Quarantina. Only business. Monkey business. Are you folks ready? Come on. Let's go in. Let's have a little fun tonight. I got the story. By the way, we got to guess because this one wanted to hear the story too. Yeah, Blue Monkey.
Yeah, it's mine.
Oh, man. She's quick on the camera, folks. Quick on the camera. Now, so total side note, everybody's like, how many of these have you done? I'm going to talk about this at the end a little bit. So if you add up season 1, season 2, season 3, all the episodes, 149 tonight. So that means next week is, Shelby, huge?
Huge.
150 next week. But we're not talking about 150. We're not talking about next week. We're talking about tonight. We're talking about celebrating. And here's the thing. Here's what I can tell you. Are we working, by the way?
I'm working.
So we had an issue last week with Facebook. So to all of our Facebook friends, hopefully you're watching us. If not, for God's sakes, go to YouTube. We're there. We're live. I think we are. Are we live?
I am not seeing the live.
All right.
Hold on.
We're on YouTube. I know that. So anyway.
We are on YouTube.
So here's what I can tell you, though. If you've ever wondered how the show works, it's pretty easy. I've got a pattern. So every episode, I typically talk about a drink. I kind of talk about the year. I talk about a place. I talk about a bartender. And I even talk about a bar. And tonight's no different. So, again, 9 years ago, I met Shelby. 2012 year. Place, Cincinnati. The bar, Moerlein House. The bartender, Jason Reed. Now, for everybody out there who knows Jason Reed, one of the greatest, great friend of mine. Sadly, lost him early. He ended up passing away in 2013. But he was a bartender. Cheers. Amen. Right here. So, I call him my bartender because he's the one that mixed it up and found Shelby for me. Let me paint the picture. We were at the Moerlein House. So, back it up. I get a call. It's from Jason. Jason calls me and says, Paul, what are you doing? I said, nothing. He said, let's go out. I said, no, I'm not going out. He said, no. Come on. You've been sitting around. I'm taking you out. Let's go to a Reds game. Now, if you know anything about Jason, he was a sports fanatic, memorabilia, loved it. I said, all right, come on in. I'll grab us tickets. So I get us some Reds tickets. We're going to go. We're going to have a good time. Stops by the house. We have a little fun evening. Matter of fact, I introduce him to some real Kentucky moonshine. So you already know where the night is headed. And then we go out. We go to the Reds game. And the Reds game is over. We leave. Fantastic time. And we walk across the street and we go to Moerlein House. And we stand outside. They have a little bit of a terrace area. Would that be a right way to describe it?
I would say that, yeah.
Terrace area. And we're leaning on a rail, overlooking the street, having our beers. And all of a sudden, we see this gorgeous woman hailing for her car. And I even tell Jason, I said, that's a gorgeous woman. I said, and my thing, boom, her hair. I was like, good hair. So Jason, as the mixer as he is, yells down at her. We're about 2 stories above. Yells down the street, hey, where are you going? Shelby looks up, going home. So no, come on up here. Come hang with us. We're having fun. My boy, that's what he called me, he wants to meet you. And so they banter back and forth. Meanwhile, I've said nothing. And Jason continues to push and push. And he says, come up here and hang out with my boy. And Shelby's comment, which I remember, was this. Your boy hasn't even asked me my name or my digits yet.
True story.
True story. To which I say, what's your number? And she shouts out, 513, blah, 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 blah. And then she hops in her car and just like Cinderella, drives off. Now, remember the beginning of the story. Moonshine, beer, a lot of drinking. Somehow, some way, later on that evening, I remember the number and I text her. Not only do I text her, now here's the saddest thing I've probably ever done in my life, but I don't want to give away all my secrets. But I send her, hey, great to meet you. This is my number. And I attach a song.
Yes, you did.
Now, 2012, if you want to go back and check, I'll tell you what one of the top hits was. Call Me Maybe. Yes.
Carly Rae Jepsen.
Yes. One hit wonder. I send her the song. Yes, it's sad. Yes. And she did call me maybe. And that was it. And we chatted and talked, and it was a while before we went out. But that, thanks to Jason Reed, was how Shelby and I crossed paths. One crazy night, and there's more to it, but that's all you get tonight. Folks, the point is this. Tonight we celebrate with a cocktail. Now, I could have gone moonshine, because that's what Jason and I had. But the Moerlein House, I want to give them props and credit because that's where we met. So we're going beer cocktail. Now, if you're thinking beer cocktail, seriously, you don't understand. Beer cocktails go back to 750 BC. That's a long time ago. And you can go all the way back to, again, how's it work, Paul? I give you a year, 750. Give you a place.
Still not showing up.
That's okay.
Facebook. YouTube it is.
YouTube, we're good. Live it on YouTube. So 750 BC, here's the place, Turkey. Who's the person? King Midas. King Midas, yeah, that Midas, golden touch, bing. In his tomb, they discovered that there were beer cocktails that were left for him. Basically, it was beer and mead and wine all mixed together. Yeah, so this was going on. Fast forward, let's go to the 1700s. Pre-cocktail. But in colonial times, beer cocktails were a thing. So if you're wondering how much the colonials drank, they averaged, you ready for this? Pick a number between 1 and 10. Charlie.
9.5.
That is not correct. Around 7 to 8 shots of liquor a day is what colonial America
Wait, what?
averaged. 7 to 8 shots a day of booze. That's what they drank.
Water wasn't safe back then.
It's like she knows my 8 minutes of search history. That's
no.
exactly right.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
No,
that's it.
I was
So-
using that as an excuse.
No, that's the excuse, though. It was safer to drink alcohol. Basically, they had cider, beer, wine, rum. Whiskey wasn't around yet. You got to go post-Revolutionary War before we started getting whiskey. But yeah, the alcohol was better and easier to, cheaper and better to get than water and a lot safer. So, plus they had all their local grains. They had all their barley and fruit. So, here's the big question. Were they drunk all the time? No more than we are.
Someone on your team called it barley soup.
Barley soup. Nice. All right. So anyway, that's what they did. They drank. They weren't drunk all the time because it was a lower alcohol volume. Hold on. So anyway, they survived. They made it. And colonial times, alcohol. You're welcome. So the star of the show is beer. Yeah, everybody's been pushing me. Paul, just do a beer cocktail. You got it. Let's do some beer. So right here tonight, easy drink. By the way, if we're going beer and you're going down the timeline, about the 1300s, we started with English ale. 1500s, we introduced colonial ale. Then the 1600s, we got into pale ale. Shortly after, then we had Indian pale ales. And then 1700s, colonial times, we basically ended up with brown ales, porters, stouts, and then and that's really what we're using tonight. So tonight, what we want to use is a porter or a dark lager, and we're going dark lager. So for God's sakes, Paul, just make the stupid drink. I'm going to make the damn drink. Here it is. All right, so first of all, start with your booze. Go with the rum first. Gold rum. I've been saving this. Going with the Barbados rum tonight, and the only reason I'm going Barbados rum tonight, recipe.
I got it.
You got it. There it is. So I'm going with this Barbados rum because one of our favorite spots, Shelby. Barbados rum. It's for you. Yep.
Thank you.
So 1.5 ounces per. So, and this is a mix in a glass drink tonight. Yeah. No shake. No nothing. No ice. God bless. Just easy. Look at that. Oh, lovely. Then you're coming in with lime juice. 3/4 ounce per drink. All right. So, and we're gonna measure this one.
Chloe, say hi to the camera.
Oh, is Chloe there?
Am I?
Oh, yeah. All right. There's a little, and here's a little more. There you go, 3/4 ounce. Call that mine, call it Shelby's. It doesn't matter because the next one, we're gonna have one right now. One for Shelby.
Delicious.
Ah, what the? Coming back. Perfect. Then the next thing we need, folks, brown sugar syrup. So it's not simple syrup, it's brown sugar simple syrup. And so just brown sugar, water, mix it. Yeah, I made it today. It's fresh. Of course it is. And we're going to go 1/2 ounce per. So, and this is going to be a nice caramel flavor on top of your drink. Oh, deliciousness. And folks, next thing you need is your beer. Again, go with a dark, either a porter or dark lager. So tonight, Moerlein Lager House, because where we met, yeah, here's what we're going with. We're going with, oh, look at this darkness. About 10, 12 ounces. Right there. Top it off. This is the Barbarossa. Now, just a little info on the Moerlein House. 1853 is when the Moerlein House started in Over the Rhine, Cincinnati, Ohio. Good sound effects, Chloe. I appreciate that. Started by Christian Moerlein, originally Christian Moerlein Lager. And so when he started this, the Barbarossa, that was one of the original beers that was created. Now, I hadn't had this one since 1853. I just got it this weekend, so it's still fresh. But 1853 they started. And by the way, Barbarossa, in case you're wondering the name where it came from, that is a nod to Frederick I, a.k.a. Frederick Barbarossa, who was, wait for it.
Sounds like a pirate name.
Not a pirate. He was the Holy Roman Emperor from 1155 to 1192. And this was a nod to him that they made.
Yeah, I thought.
Who cares? Now, then once you get your beer in there, we can do a little more beer. Hold on. Boom. Get them even. Then you're going to come in. The garnish tonight, folks, nutmeg. Yeah, just like a little painkiller. Look at that. Right on top. Oh. And then you also want to come in with additional garnish of your emergency. Yeah, emergency. Christian Moerlein. Actually, Christian Moerlein was one of the original founders, 54, was starting some emergency. And we're just going to fresh grind that right on top.
Orange and nutmeg tastes delicious.
Oh, there it is. That's what we do. Emergency, saving lives. Barbarossa. Yeah, there's a couple quotes from him. It's fine. Whatever. And there you go. Folks, there it is. That is your quarantine. Yeah, subscribe. We're awesome. That's your quarantine. Oh, I've never even told you the name of the drink, have I?
No.
No, it's the Rattle Skull.
What?
So the Rattle Skull, well, first of all, let's taste it. Then I'll tell you where this name came from. Yeah, your quarantine Rattle Skull beer cocktail. Smells delicious. Oh. So it's great. So you get that nice malt, not only of the beer, but that brown sugar. It's kind of got a caramel kick to it. And then the rum. So here's what I can tell you about this. Well, first of all, let me come in here and give you a little cheers. Shelby?
Chink.
And so here's the beauty of this cocktail. So it's called the Rattle Skull. Now, some people will tell you it's called the Rattle Skull because you got all this rum, you got this beer, which is a heavy alcohol beer, and that it'll make your skull rattle if you drink enough of these. Some people say it's the day after, the hangover, that'll make your skull rattle. Truth is, Rattle Skull, back in colonial times, it was a term of art. And the terminology, it was the name of a person who was a chatterbox.
Oh, so me
A Rattle Skull.
It's me with drinking wine.
This cocktail couldn't be better for this. So, back to my story.
So this is...
I said nothing that night, hardly at all. Not a chatterbox, but this one over here, and I'm handing her a drink. I'm going to give her a big toast. If you ever want her to tell, if this one's drinking right over here, you know it, because she is a Rattle Skull. Total chatterbox. Right here, babe. Cheers. Glad our paths crossed. Love you.
Love you too, baby.
All right, folks, there it is. I know, Chloe. Put the camera on Chloe. She's crying.
So mean.
Mean? What do you mean? Hi.
Am I raving character?
Yeah, you did perfect. All right, bring it back. Here we go, folks. Thanks for joining us tonight. Hope you had fun right here. Hey, next week, oh my God, make sure you're here. It is episode 150.
We have to make sure they're here.
AKA,
This is...
I know, we'll figure this out. But AKA season 3, episode 22 next week. But folks, right here, love you. We will see you next week, next Sunday. Oh, and it's a travel show. Oh, it's going to be fun. Folks, love you. Good night.